So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and welcome to my 10 reasons why the Galaxy S23 Plus is better than the standard iPhone 14 Pro. So this is the Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus, and this one's actually becoming one of my favorites just due to kind of the weight, having a really nice set of specifications, not feeling too behind the S23 Ultra while still coming in at a cheaper price point. Now, the iPhone 14 Pro is just a smaller 14 Pro Max. That's just about it. But having that smaller size means a smaller battery, and it also means that you have a much smaller screen at 6.1 inches. For some people, that's a little bit too small, and especially at $1,000, but it doesn't seem to have bothered a lot because this phone was sold out when it first comes out. But the first reason on my list is the size to weight ratio. You get more screen in a lighter body. That is impressive for the Samsung device. Now, it doesn't look too big here, but I assure you in person, the S23 Plus does feel quite a bit bigger than the iPhone 14 Pro. Now, the iPhone 14 Pro and S23 Plus have a similar aspect ratio, so their width's about the same. But due to the aluminum usage on the S23 Plus, it is a little bit more of a lighter, thinner, kind of sleeker kind of feeling phone, whereas the iPhone 14 Pro exudes a more heft, more premium kind of feel with stainless steel, bigger camera bumps sticking off the back, whereas Samsung goes with a more simple, more symmetrical design philosophy here. So overall, I just gotta say, the Galaxy S23 Plus kind of feels like more impressive in the design, just lighter, bigger battery, more zoom. I mean, it's there. And that takes me on to number 2, which is the much farther zooming capabilities of the Galaxy S23 Plus. So if I hit 3x, that's fine. That's the optical zoom. That's kind of what the iPhone 14 Pro can do, 3x, and they're putting a 2x there, but you can do that here on a Samsung as well, just by clicking that 2x right there. Click the one time and you'll see 2x right there. But here's the big deal. You can go all the way up to 30 times zoom. And this is a crucial thing because the 14 Pro can only go 15 times. This already beats it on the 20, but then you can go 30 if you want. Now, 30 is about where the S23 Ultra kind of starts to get, a little bit blurry after 30. So this is really the best, I think, balance of the zoom. So just much further zooming on the Galaxy S23 Plus gives this phone a much more better feel. I just feel like at this price, this premium feel, can we get a little bit more zoom, Apple, please? Great cameras, amazing cameras on that 14 Pro, but I want more zoom. So Samsung is winning it there. Number 3 is the bigger battery. So bigger battery, and I find this to have better battery life. It just does. It goes a little bit longer. This feels more like an iPhone Max in terms of the battery, whereas the 14 Pro is a good day, but this one could stretch into the second day. But yeah, just a bigger, longer lasting battery on the Galaxy S23 Plus. So it's better there as well. The next one is faster charging and wireless charging. So not only through this USB-C port are we going to get quicker charging, we can also charge other devices on here by turning on reverse wireless charging. So that's a nice feature to have here as well on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus. It's called wireless power sharing. So we'll go ahead and turn that on. I think you could even charge the iPhone on this. Let's see. Yep, you could charge the iPhone on your Samsung. So, we could be friends as well. We could be friends here with iPhone users and be like, hey, I'll give you some charge. So yeah, you could do that. It's pretty cool. Little party trick. You can't do that on the iPhone just yet. It's probably going to come eventually, and then it'll be the biggest feature in the world. But, it's definitely coming. The next one is kind of related to the cameras again, but it's not just the zoom. I'm going to talk about why I find this camera so much more versatile. It's because you don't have to download a bunch of apps to get a bunch of nice features like Expert Raw Pro, Pro Video, Night, Food, Panoramic. I mean, there is a lot of this stuff in the iPhone. Like you do have a night mode by default, and you do have a video mode. You have a photo mode, a cinematic video mode. There's just some simple stuff there, but you can get far more in depth here with the Samsung camera, going down to things you could do in a camera, like changing white balance, autofocus. You could change exposure values, ISO values. You can also change your focus points to be a multi-point focus or a center focus. In addition to that, all the camera settings are right up here, including aspect ratios, timers, switching between full megapixels of 50 megapixels, which is the highest you can do on here. And then we don't even have to go into the settings app itself. We can just simply access camera settings over here, which makes this a really easy phone to use. And then when you're doing camera stuff, and then if you want to go ahead and put this on a tripod in the landscape version, it's nice because everything will flip and then you could just stay in camera app and finish everything up in camera app. So I've been recording a couple videos on these phones and they've been pretty awesome. People haven't said nothing. They haven't even noticed I've been recording on these. You can also do director's view where it can take advantage of 2 separate cameras. That is pretty cool. And it's an excellent way to become creative on your phone. In addition, these Samsung phones have also improved their mic quality. So you don't even really need an external speaker unless you're in the absolute worst of conditions. You could just use the mic that comes on the phones themselves. They've gotten that good. Now, the next one is going to be a much more usable brightness mode. So you do have this extra brightness mode toggled up there in the quick panel. If you click that, you can take full advantage of the 1750 nits. Now, Samsung does warn you, obviously, that you will use maximum battery life using this. I mean, obviously, you're tweaking up to the highest brightness. But with the iPhone, yes, you can hit a higher brightness, but you can only hit it in sunlight. But I am going to do the opposite video where we talk about why this is better than the Galaxy S23 Plus. So stay tuned for that, at the $1,000 price range. But the extra brightness mode is just really fun to use on the S23 Plus, especially when you want that extra brightness. So pretty cool. Now, the next one I want to talk about is Samsung DeX. And for some people, this is the end of the conversation. We don't got to talk no more. You can turn this phone into a computer with a simple USB-C cable to a monitor. I mean, all it takes is that. You don't even need a keyboard to actually use it. You can use the phone, but it actually gets much better when you use a keyboard and a mouse. Now, a monitor you can buy at your local electronics store for well under $200 if they're on sale. You can buy a mouse for like $5. You can buy a keyboard for like $10. And you buy this phone. You could actually buy all 3 of those things plus this phone cheaper probably than one, high storage iPhone 14 Pro. And then you have a full computer and a phone. I mean, just think about it. That's great value right there. So that's number 7 for sure. And number 8 is the better overall media experience. Now, what I mean by this is that when you are using this phone for media consumption, let's go ahead and take a look at these eggs really quickly. Sorry if I'm making you hungry, but when you're looking at media consumption, the Infinity O display up there, and some people say, oh, this marketing stuff, Dynamic Island, Infinity O, Samsung and Apple with their marketing. Look, the fact is that Samsung has one of the smaller punch holes on a phone. I can't wait to see the all screen. It's going to be amazing. OnePlus kind of already did that when they had the pop-up camera, but they got rid of that. It was one of the best designs. But having this pretty much all screen display means a better media experience. It doesn't obtrude on your content as much. And Samsung has some software that hides it pretty well. Whereas a Dynamic Island actually is more noticeable to me than the notch. It sticks on the screen a little bit more, although it's pretty cool to use and it definitely feels different. It definitely sticks on the screen. So just having the overall, bigger screen, and also it's not just that Infinity O. Let me talk about something else. Going to landscape can make this feel like a tablet at night. It's also pretty useful when you have it on navigation, but having this ability to go over here in the settings and then tweak this to, let's go down here to display. You can put on this vivid mode and you can also put on advanced settings and change your RGB color tone. So you can really take advantage of this and really make it a really true media powerhouse. In addition, Samsung also has a video brightness mode. So if we go here, this will also boost up the vividness in your videos and media consumption. The next one is USB-C on the Galaxy is not only the latest standard. I've been transferring stuff. It's super quick. NVMe might still be a little faster, but this Lightning port feels really quite old at this point. And having these on the iPad, as well as the Macs, and even the Mac Minis that just came out, Apple, get with the times. Where is my USB-C on my iPhone Pro device that I have to find a separate cable for to put in my MacBook Pro that already has the USB-C that Samsung has? Doesn't make sense. Number 10, the Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus features Wi-Fi 6E standard. So I'm throwing that one in there because You want to keep these phones a long time, and Samsung's a bit ahead there in terms of faster Wi-Fi over the long haul. When routers do become upgraded over time, your cable company, whatever, your internet company is like, hey, you want to upgrade this router? You might have one with Wi-Fi 6E, and you have this phone, you won't have the latest standard. Not that Wi-Fi 6 is slow, it's very fast as well, but just having that extra bump is just a nice spec over the iPhone 14 Pro. So those are 10 reasons why Samsung takes down iPhone 14 Pro in this contest. Now, I will be making a counterpoint video for the 14 Pro versus the Galaxy S23 Plus, why this is a better $1,000 option. So stay tuned for that one. I really love comparing and breaking these down and helping you guys figure out which is the better option for you. But we want to keep it balanced, so I'll be back in the next one giving iPhone 14 Pro its flowers as well. So stay tuned for that. I'll catch you on the next one. Nick here. Be sure to be well. Thank you very much for watching, and peace.